This shoe I'm about to talk about with you guys today is incredibly boring, but I promise in a very good way. What is going on, everybody? Nikki for the More HKsmash YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the Nikecraft Sachs general purpose shoe. After completing my thorough wear test of the general purpose shoe, it is now time for us to talk a little bit more in depth about the shoe itself. We're going to go over what's inside the box, going to talk a little bit about the history of the shoe, show you guys some on foot, and give you my overall impression. If you are a first-time viewer on this channel, I want to welcome you. And of course, if you are a returning member of this community, welcome back. I'm super happy to have you here today. Now, I'm kind of surprised at how hyped up the shoe was, and having an opportunity to go through the previous release of the Mars Yard. It's kind of crazy how the shoe is so hyped up, but yet it is so simplistic and incredibly basic, which I honestly think says a lot about like hypebeast culture. When the shoe released, it released for roughly $110. And looking at the resale market currently, as of I'm recording this video, my size is going for about 500 bucks, which is crazy. I was very fortunate to be able to hit on this shoe for retail. And let me tell you, I was actually really hyped up to be able to get the shoes. I think I was more excited at the fact that I was getting a shoe for retail, and the fact that the shoe itself was just over 100 bucks. The idea that there's a potential that the value of the shoe can go way higher than that was pretty exciting. And at the same time, I'm getting to wear something that was designed by Sachs, which I've never had an opportunity to try out. Now, diving in on the box a little bit, it's pretty self-explanatory. Got the nice Nikecraft on the outside, the Sachs signature on the opposite side of the box. I like the handwritten general purpose shoe logo on the side as well. I think that's a nice little touch there. I think you guys kind of get the idea here. This is a very basic shoe, nothing too exciting. I know we don't wear the box, but it's still a nice little design, nice little touch. I'm going to switch scenes for a second. I'm going to read off of the script I have here so I can give you the most accurate information possible. So the Nikecraft general purpose shoe is a minimalist, do-everything shoe that will thrive in any possible scenario thrown your way. I will say the other day I did see somebody in my gym wearing them, and they are definitely up to the task of doing something like, you know, going to the gym or maybe doing some kind of outside activity. General purpose shoe boasts a 3-piece molded cup sole, suede mudguards, and a microfiber collar with an ultra breathable knit that is open enough to breathe but tight enough to fend off rain and snow. I actually did not know that. Touching up on the Sachs previous designs, a waffle tread outsole similar to that of the first Nike Moon shoe, and a tongue with exposed foam edges adds a vintage appeal, which I definitely agree with. Now, during my wear test, I was keeping it very basic because the shoe is advertised as a very boring, everyday, do what you want with this shoe, throw whatever you want at it, and, you know, see where you land. I was keeping it very simple. I went out and did some errands. I walked around Hollywood for a little while. I went ahead and did some food shopping, drove around with the shoes on. I just wore them, and I was genuinely surprised. I went true to size. I went with a size 10. However, I did notice that there was a little bit of room in the toe box and also around the ankle. I did tie them relatively tight to my foot. However, I do feel that maybe going a half a size down would avoid that look from happening. However, I don't necessarily see this as a deal breaker. I also did notice that towards the rear of the shoe, I kind of felt like my heel was hanging down. I'm not sure if anyone else that actually has the shoe has felt that same sensation, but I kind of feel like my back heels aren't being supported by the shoe, which I thought was a little bit strange, but I did get used to it. The royal blue tongue and heel tab give it a really nice touch. It matches the insole, which also has the Nikecraft logo on the inside. The mix between the light bone sail and then the royal blue really makes it pop. It's very subtle, but it's still a nice look. I think most people would look at the shoe and you would assume that it would be heavy, and I would say you're absolutely right. It is a little bit bottom heavy. When you look at the waffle tread and then the light brown midsole and then the canvas, that midsole really does wear the shoe down a little bit, or I should say weigh down the shoe. Again, that is not a deal breaker. I think having a little bit of weight to a shoe is kind of nice, especially since it's an everyday shoe. You're not really going to be doing any crazy activities in them. At least I think you really shouldn't, but you wear them how you want. I do, however, like the idea that the shoe has a little bit of heft to it. It feels like you've bought something that has value, like it has some weight. Sometimes I like the products that I buy to have a little bit of weight to them. The materials on the shoe are definitely premium. It's, you know, for $110, you're getting a pretty well-built shoe. Now, as far as the resale prices on the shoe, I don't think I can necessarily justify spending that kind of money on something that is incredibly basic. And when I say incredibly basic, I don't mean that in a bad way. I think it's really nice to have simplicity. You know, we tend to gravitate towards these incredibly hyped up, bright, vibrant color shoes that really pop and make a statement, which I think is fine. But at the same time, having some simplicity, at least for me, helps diversify my collection a little bit. And I think this does a really good job of kind of bridging that gap. Having something that was designed by someone like Tom Sachs that is incredibly simple is really nice. However, I did notice that the shoe itself does attract dirt, and it seems to get dirty pretty quickly. I mean, even after just wearing mine for about a week of just kind of walking around, I think I did a good job of keeping them relatively clean. But even when I went food shopping, I noticed that I was getting scuffs just from walking around. I don't know if maybe somebody bumped into me with their shopping cart or whatever, but I did notice some scuffs around the suede. Not a big deal, but these will likely get pretty dirty, and I feel like most shoes in a light bone or a sail color do a very good job of attracting dirt. So if you're a stickler for cleanliness, you're going to want to make sure you have something to clean these shoes on a regular basis. As far as comfortability is concerned, I think the shoe is relatively comfortable. Nothing to cry home about. It's very general. Not a shoe that I would put on to, I want to be comfortable today, let me throw these on. For me, I can see myself wearing the shoe as like, I got to run a couple of quick errands around town. Let me pop these on really quick. Oh, I got to go downtown and, pick up some stuff. Whatever it is that I'm doing. I feel like if it's something like quick, I want it to look decent. This is a great option for that. However, I wouldn't necessarily make this my first choice if I'm looking for something that is overall comfort. I had no issues with breathability on the shoe. The materials hold up very well, and I didn't feel like my feet were, sweating like crazy in them. What I do like about how general purpose the shoe actually is, you can dress it up and you can dress it down. You can use it however you want. And I do like the idea that the way it was advertised and the way that the shoe was designed is that you can do pretty much anything you want with it. And I like that. I think that's really, really good. Overall, I like the shoe. I'm really glad I got it into my collection. I might even try to get myself a half a size down for the second release that's coming up in August of 2022. However, I can't necessarily co-sign spending over $500 for this shoe, considering how basic it is. However, if you are a fan of Tom Sachs and the work that he has done, I do think this might be a good option for you to add to your collection. Now I'm going to ask you guys to let me know in the comment section, what do you think of the Tom Sachs general purpose shoe? If you have a pair, let me know what you think of them, and are you considering getting yourself a pair? Obviously, if you did like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up so YouTube can recognize this in their algorithm. And of course, if you're looking to get some more information on other sneakers coming out in the future, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell and get notified anytime a video hits the live feed. I appreciate you guys for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next sneaker review. Take care.